Welcome back to PNG Trends Burner. There's been a heated exchange between the Shadow Minister for Petroleum and Energy, Kerenga Kua, and the Prime Minister himself. Kua pointed out that the Prime Minister may have stooped too low and breached protocol in his recent overseas travel. Kua identified two political blunders about the Prime Minister's recent trip to Singapore. He takes issue with two main things. First, the protocol. The Prime Minister met with executives from oil and gas companies like Papua Energy in Singapore. Kua argues it's a bad negotiating strategy and disrespectful. He believes these companies should come to Papua New Guinea if a meeting is necessary. Kua said, quote, "I did not see Mr. Marape meet with the Prime Minister of Singapore. It would have been acceptable if the Prime Minister was in Singapore at the request of the Singaporean Prime Minister and then factored in meetings with these executives. As a matter of state protocol, if a Prime Minister is visiting another country, it should be because the host nation invited the PM or because the PM is in transit to another country which extended an invitation to him." Unquote. Second, micromanagement. Kua feels the Prime Minister is meddling in affairs that should be handled by lower-level officials, like the Secretary of Petroleum. He thinks the Prime Minister should only intervene as a last resort. The Shadow Minister, quote, "The same goes for meetings Mr. Marape reportedly had in Brisbane before Singapore. Our Prime Minister cannot be flying into countries like a state minister to have meetings with executives." Unquote. Marape is not an ordinary state minister. He is the Prime Minister and should, at all times, protect and preserve the functions and reputation of the seat he is occupying when dealing with international investments and matters of national importance. The Prime Minister, James Marape, said he doesn't agree with Kua's criticism. He defends his actions by saying he, as the Prime Minister and as the Minister of all ministers, has the right to step in when needed, especially for issues of national interest.
Prime Minister is Prime Minister of ministers. Have every right to step into these roles to do if certain ministers need to be assisted. In that moment, the Minister for Petroleum, who had oversight in energy, Minister Maladina, was there. So I said, he chaired the meeting, I sat with him, and sometimes matters of national interest, you need the captain to be there. And the captain was there to make sure we don't monkey around and we don't compromise the national security. Minister Kua should be the last person, the least, to talk about national energy. He had more than 4 years to do certain things. I have huge respect for him.
A very long letter. A very long letter. That letter was a report card of what I did in my capacity as Minister for Petroleum and Energy in the last 4 years going into 5 years.
So who's right? That's for you to decide. Kua raises some interesting points about protocol and delegation. But the Prime Minister has a point too about taking charge for crucial matters. Let us know in the comments below. Do you think the Prime Minister was right to meet with the executives in Singapore? Was it micromanagement or justified leadership? Also, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on politics and current events in Papua New Guinea. Thanks for watching.